What is going on? What is going on? It's your boy Big Ma. We are here live today from the studios of the corner. You dig? And we having a good time. It is March the 28th. This Monday, March 28th. I'm here with an amazing panel. If you want to jump in, make sure you come to Clubhouse right down to the Black Bitcoin Billionaires. You can jump in on this show. We're going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin today, but I think more so we're going to talk about the biggest news in the Black community right now, which of course is what happened last evening with Chris Rock and Will Smith. That's probably the biggest news we've seen in the Black community of over the last 24 hours. Even though we know there's a lot of Satoshi millionaires out there, we understand that. We know that. we know that. We know that this news is a lot bigger, and everybody's talking about it. So, what's going on,
Hey,
everybody?
shout out to Will for slapping dog, man.
Oh,
Shout out to
okay.
Will for slapping dog, man.
he came
I'm just saying.
Black Regal
Hey,
jumped in immediately.
big shout out to Will for slapping dog, man. Dog got exactly what he deserved. I'm just saying. I don't want to hear no sympathy, man.
You don't want no sympathy. You don't want no sympathy.
Hey, we know what time it is, man. Hey, we know what time it is, man. Just don't think because you at the Grammys you won't get smacked, dog. Like it's the culture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Before we get into it all the way, y'all, I just want to say, first of all, shout out to Kaylee Douglas. Y'all see this? Y'all know Lawrence Douglas that comes on with us sometimes. This is his daughter's amazing artwork. I don't know if y'all saw it on another one of my shows. I bought this from her. I buy art from kids. If you have a kid that has amazing art, like this is her. She's 6 years old, I believe, and she painted this beautiful picture. So shout out to Kaylee Douglas. Make sure y'all start looking out for her. She's gonna be the next Basquiat. I'm speaking it to existence right now. Like
hey,
right
since you brought that up, Lamar.
Yeah.
Hey, come here, man.
Uh-oh.
My son, he just did a what they call art in the park here in Jacksonville, and he won first prize.
Hey man. Hey, tell him duck down to the camera.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Good seeing you again, man. Your sister still beating you up, man.
He won a $500 prize.
What?
What you
doing? My question. What you doing with it?
I don't know.
I love you. Hey man, I want to see you again, bro. Like for real. Let me get some dap on the camera. Can we get some dap, man? That's my dude, man. Me and him talk. Listen. Jakumi's kids are amazing. I'm telling you. Like you can literally sit and have conversations with them for a long time, man. They are amazing kids, man. I haven't met all of them. I met they the two oldest ones, right, Jakumi?
Right.
Yeah, right. Man. They amazing. Like they doing something right over at that household. I'm gonna tell you that much. Maybe it's some carrot dogs.
Right. Man, the carrot dogs get you right.
Is it the carrot dogs? What's going on? Is it your wife back there?
Yeah, she back there.
What's going on? Hi, y'all. How you doing?
Hey, now.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, now. What's going on?
On this episode, we might need to get her perspective.
Oh, we gotta get fam. We gotta get fam on.
You know, I need to scoot over a little bit.
Yeah.
Whenever you guys ready, I'll chime in. I do have a perspective. You know, I do.
We love your perspective. We be loving you on the show. All right. So then, the other thing. So y'all remember that application, Black Dollar Network? Y'all remember the Black Dollar Network application where they spread money around the community?
I remember that.
Guess what they've done? They made it really easy for you to buy from Black businesses. This right here is one of the companies. It's called Blanket. They make these pancakes are ridiculous. It's a pancake. They make syrup. It's a Black-owned business, and I bought this inside the Black Dollar Network application because they've allowed you to quickly buy stuff. That allows you to circulate those dollars really rapidly in there. They've added a whole bunch of features since they first came out, so I just wanted to give them a shout out. This is definitely Blanket, and it's the honey butter pancakes and waffle mix. Like once a month at least, I have a pancake breakfast. My wife feels like cooking me pancakes, and so we've been buying Black pancakes, and they're not carrot dogs. It's just I think you can eat this, Jakumi. I think but it might have honey in it. You can't eat honey, can you?
I mean, we don't eat honey.
Yeah, never mind. Listen, for everybody, for all the normal people out there, get your. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, but this is shout out to the Black Dollar Network, and make sure y'all go check out the app because they actually put some ability to buy all kinds of stuff. I bought my toilet paper from there. I bought my pancakes from there. You go in there, you can find all kinds of items that
Black
are
Dollar Network.
black-owned businesses. So with those two things out of the way, I just wanted to do that for the love. They both Kaylee Douglas, the artist, and then Black Dollar Network with the pancakes. I wanted to do that on the love, just so y'all know what's going on and to support those entities. I see some people jumping in. There he is. See, they the smart guy with the fresh twist up. I see him. You know what I'm saying? This dude coming. That's how you know this dude making money, boy. Every time he come in here, you know how Jamie Foxx looked before he got money, and then how Jamie Foxx looked after he got money. I'm not saying CJ was as busted as the early Jamie Foxx, but I'm just saying, like, you can clearly tell there's a difference. Look at his twist up, his skin is glowing. Like, come on,
got
man.
somebody got somebody playing in his hair every week, don't he? He got somebody picking him up every week.
Hey, Herb Brader, bro.
On demand. On demand.
Herb Brader, he's on somebody's floor, Indian style, somewhere every week, ain't he? On the couch, watching old episodes of Family Feud, getting his hair twisted up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you already know what time it is, man. Yeah,
y'all funny, man. Y'all funny.
whole room smell like Egyptian musk. You know what I'm talking about, Black Regal. That's in Herb Brader's house.
Right.
Nah, but listen, let's get into the subject that everybody wants to talk about. Bitcoin is soaring. There's a lot of people who assume that the whole eCash announcement was the reason why Bitcoin was soaring. If y'all seen what eCash is, it's a bill that has been placed in that basically is saying instead of going through the Fed, it's going to be an actual digital cash that the people actually can get from the Treasury. Now, I'm going to let everybody know that jumped in. If you do not have your video showing, I'm going to kick you because we'd rather have videos up. Granny, of course, Granny Crypto, I'm not going to kick because right now the room is full and I know people want to jump in and talk. So if you're not willing to show your beautiful face, I'm going to have to get you up out the place. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Huh, no, I'm just playing. So, I'm going to look down there, and if you ain't showing your face, I'm going to have to kick you. So please figure out how to get your camera working and come back. Please, please, please. Outside of that, man, anybody's welcome to come jump in this broadcast. If you are on Twitter, please retweet this out for us. Make sure you use the hashtag BBB or Genesis Blocks _BBB. That'll be the best way to try to hit us up. And outside of that, let's get going on this conversation because I'm gonna tell you right now, Black Regal done jumped in like it's a hot summer day and it's a swimming pool. And like we ain't even get it going. What's going on, Miss Trina? Come on up here, Miss Trina. So Black Regal, I know we're gonna have a varying array of opinions about this. But what we want to talk about today, we actually have our resident comedian in, Mr. Corey, the God Marshall. We got we got Jakumi, we got Miss Charlene, CJ the smart guy, the accountant. He's probably gonna tell you how that situation last night is gonna affect Will Smith's bottom line from a fine perspective. But I just want to hear everybody's opinion. So what happened last night? If y'all haven't seen it, I'm gonna get the clip up here in a minute. What happened last night is that there was a joke.
Justice was served, man.
On stage
Justice was served, bro.
At the Oscars, and that joke led to
swift
one of
the
biggest movie stars in the history of movie stars walking on stage and hitting one of the biggest comedians in the history of comedians for the joke. Not only hitting him, it was an open hand baby powder like slap. It's like he put the baby powder in the hand and smacked him. And we had a small conversation about this, so I'm not going to take people's thunder. But I really want y'all to talk about what y'all was talking about earlier, Corey, like what type of slap it was, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead, Black Rig. I'm going to let you go because you already...
Yeah, let me get my rocks off, man.
Get it off, bro.
Rocks off, man.
Get it, man.
Hey, man, first up, like, dog should have got the piss slapped out of him, man. I'm going to just keep it real with you. So anytime you dealing with somebody's wife, bro, and they got, like, a health condition, you know what I'm saying? That's the cause or the butt end of the joke. I mean, like, you comedian or not, like, that ha-ha, where I'm from, that ha-ha get you smacked in your mouth just like that. So it's like, don't think, like, they found out Will Smith really was from Philly last night. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, I'm from West Philadelphia, born and raised. The playground, that's where I spent most of my day. He telling you, I've been outside. I've been outside. I ain't just from Philly. I've been outside. I ain't on the porch. He showed y'all. He showed y'all. Been off the porch for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what happened. But
don't
yeah, dog got exactly what he had. Like, don't think. And the most hypocritical part about it too was like this was a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? This is black man to black man. I know you're talking comedian, but from anybody else, it might have been cool. But don't forget, Chris Rock did a whole documentary called Good Hair, right? Talking about how black women should embrace their good hair and all this other stuff. So what he did was the most hypocritical thing he ever could have done. So the slap in the mouth was swift justice. You feel me? Like anytime you do a movie like that, telling black women they should be proud of their hair, they need to embrace their culture, all this other nonsense, because your daughter had questions about her hair, right? And then you do that to a black woman right in front of all these other people in a room full of other people based on a health condition. Man, swift justice, you should have got the piss slapped out of you. And that's I'm gonna just leave it right there. He got what he had coming.
Man, okay.
Talking.
Okay, listen, hey, bro. I believe there are a lot of individuals that believe like that, but I want to hear from our resident comedian, longtime comedian, and also he's a producer, writer, so he's been in this game for a minute. He's been on shows. He is we call him Corey the God Marshal. Corey, I want to hear your perspective on a comedian like getting swift justice, as my man Black Regal said.
Corey, you ain't write that joke, man.
Say some funny words.
Am I back? Hello?
Yeah, you back.
All right.
You back now.
I didn't hear any side comment if there was any, but the whole thing about it, right? I heard different comments, people saying Will Smith snapped, Will Smith snapped. I don't think that Will Smith snapped. I think it was very intentional. He laughed in the beginning, looked at his wife's expression, and then it kind of hit him. He thought about it. He thought about what to do next. He had a lot of moments to change his mind. He walked on stage very slow. He looked very put together. He smacked them with form. That's very intentional. He kept his form even after the smack. You know, like you smack somebody, his hand was still in the same position that he smacked him with. Like, that's very intentional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the follow through.
And it was even down, and it was also in a position for a back slap in case there was any kind of report. You know what I'm saying? It was
crazy.
A couple extra seconds just in case he had to come back up with it. So it was very intentional. And he turned around and walked away to his seat, very intentional, sat down and said what he had to say. When he started shouting out, you can kind of see the uncontrollable anger. And the second time when he said, "Keep my wife's name out your blah, blah, blah mouth," you can kind of see him losing it then. But before then, he was very in control of his actions. He knew what he was doing. And Chris Rock accepted that smack. You know what I'm saying? He was with it. And as much as I really don't have it was right, it was wrong. It was just two grown men making two grown men decisions. And that's all it was. It wasn't about he was right for doing it, he was wrong for doing it. No. Will Smith, if anybody knows how to move in Hollywood, it's Will Smith. If anybody knows how to act in public, it's Will Smith. Same thing is said about Chris Rock. If anybody knows how to move on stage and what could be said on stage, it's Chris Rock. And also, if anybody could take a hit, it's now Chris Rock.
If anybody know what Out of Bounds is, it is now Chris Rock.
It is now Chris Rock. And he's not fazed by it. You know what I'm saying? He is not fazed by it. And the only thing that, the only thing that I'm kind of concerned about now is that I really hope this doesn't spark something when it comes to entertainment in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope people don't get on I'm gonna smack me a comedian today tip. You know what I'm saying? Just because
I thought you was gonna say, well, is it gonna launch a
So I hope that people just don't, oh, I'm gonna start smacking people now. Like, okay, just calm down a little bit. Like
It's not yet.
Man, do you know how much new
Everybody ain't gonna
material comedians got from this, bro?
man. Everybody ain't gonna
this
just.
is gonna be all type of material.
You know how much material Chris Rock got from this though?
It's Chris Rock. He's going on tour with Kevin Hart, who is really close friends with Will Smith. So this tour is about to be crazy. Listen, I want to hear from my man Jacumi and his wife. There's an actual couple that we bring on now. Jacumi he cannot come on the show by himself no more. Like, and look, yeah. So here's the thing, y'all. As a couple, a lot of people are saying that Will Smith, like you heard Regal. Regal's take is Will Smith protected his wife. I heard a lot of people saying that. In that moment, I'll just give the take my wife gave. She said, Lamar, I've been in situations where somebody has done something to me and I know you, and so I restrained you. Like I see you about to go do something, and I'm going to hold you and let you realize it's going to be okay. Because she knows at least the older me. Like I'm better than I used to be. Let's just say that. So she could restrain me. My wife said she clearly noticed that Jada Pinkett Smith did not restrain Will at all. She was on some sickle. So what? like she just was like, "Hey, do what you gotta do." So what do you all think about this? I want to definitely hear Jacumi and Ayan. I want to hear y'all's opinion. What would y'all do? And y'all both here, so this is beautiful.
So to me, that was a G-check moment.
Mm.
Chris Rock got G-check right there. It's no different than if like you at the barbershop and you say something and you out of line and somebody check you. You know what I'm saying? Now, had that been me on the stage, I'd have probably retaliated some kind of way, but we might have been rolling around up there, bro. I'm not just gonna get G-checked like that. However, like I was like,
so if that was me and somebody said something about me, and I know you,
I'm G-checking. I'm G-checking them.
You already knew he was gonna do it too. See, that's what I'm saying. Women know that.
Yeah. So my take is, once realizing like, oh, this is going down, this is a real kind of thing, and knowing a lot of their history that's already public, that's still his wife, that's still his family. So if I'm her, I want him to do that. I want him to do it right then and there. And from what I was seeing, for context, Chris Rock made comments about her in 2016 when they boycotted. So this is not the first time that he's talked about her on stage, as well as Will Smith saying something to him before, as well as other people in Black Hollywood. Also, and I know Will just wrote this book, it's very heartfelt, talking about a lot of their family issues. If I'm the children, I want to see my dad not let my mom get talked about in that way. And I know they're adult children, they got all kinds of issues. But at the end of the day, at the beginning of a new one, the nuclear family is under attack. I don't care how we swing it, how much of it's our own fault. And war is all around us. In Black Hollywood, it's no different. So I think it was a real kind of moment that some will just maybe chalk it up to, and I even kind of said this, again, it ain't no different than, you at the family reunion, somebody get into it, and then you got to throw a couple hands, but then later on, y'all cool. And they might end up being cool because that's how our culture is. But it don't mean that it don't happen. If it's got to be in front of them, then that's where it's got to go down at. And I think it's an even bigger statement. Behind, in the back, nah, it ain't the same. At the Oscar parties, it's not the same. I think it says a lot about Black men too. Both of them, really. The fact that he said it, knowing that he's put her in jokes before, that's a bold kind of Black man move. The fact that he stood up there and took it, like, oh man, I know I done effed up. Let me just keep going. Because he has a wife, he has children. I think he got 2 girls. So he know he was wrong, but it is what it is. And I think it says a lot about where we are and the fact that he did it on the stage that he did it on. He didn't wait for permission. He didn't ask, is it okay, master, can I go handle this? He didn't do that. He just handled it. And I like it.
Yep,
Like
listen.
maybe that's what
You know,
she needed.
you know what? I didn't realize this was such a pro smacker dude show. This is like the
Hey,
smacker dude
Will,
pro show.
hey, Will Smith smacked him like he had Bitcoin. You feel me? He smacked him like he got some Bitcoin. You hear me? Bring it all back full circle.
Listen,
Yeah.
y'all. The studio audience is now allowed to chime in. Like
Right.
we can now hear from the studio audience really quick. I won't because Granny, she's in the studio audience. Granny, are you still there? Granny, can you hear us? Maybe she's not there anymore. Jalegua, there goes Granny. What's up, Granny? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm over in Clubhouse now.
Yeah, so I'm saying you in the studio audience. So Granny,
Oh, okay.
because see, this is to me, it's swaying too far one direction, and we all out here talking about when we gonna smack the next person. I don't like this. I think we need to have some balance. There has to be some balance on the show. So Granny,
Absolutely.
can you bring in your take on this? Being an elder, somebody who ain't walking around just smacking people in the face. Can you give us your take on this?
Absolutely. My position is Will was totally out of line in when he did it. Absolutely, he should defend his wife's honor, but it was the way he did it. He could have handled that backstage. And like you said earlier, Lamar, he could have heckled something from the audience. I just think it was in bad taste, him doing it the way he did.
Got you. So here's the question. So you thinking that the Source Awards were more civilized? Because all the fights in the Source Awards, they all happened backstage. Suge and everybody, everything that went down happened backstage. You saying that Will Smith, he turned the Oscars into the Source Awards. Is that what you saying, Greg?
Yes.
The fights at the Source Award happened backstage because that's where the entourage was at. People ain't crazy.
I know the whole crew.
Absolutely, but just watch how you do things.
Right.
Do things in order.
Look, Granny said it's in order for him to get smacked, just not in front of the world. That's what Granny said. So we still got a pro smack audience.
I'm not pro smack, but
yeah, Corey's not pro smack. Yeah, go ahead, Corey.
In my mind, Will Smith was fine. Chris Rock was fine. Like,
right.
In my mind, it was just like if it was going to happen,
choices.
if it was going to happen between two people, those were the two people that it would be like, ooh, you just a spectator. You just a spectator.
It was just something that had to happen.
I'm saying.
But I think what's
really... well, I mean, I'm going on record to say that as far as Chris Rock's comedy, I am a fan of Chris Rock's comedy, but I am not a fan of stuff that he does outside the comedy stage. Like, I was not a fan of Pootie Tang. I still hate Pootie Tang. I hate that. I have not forgiven him for making Pootie Tang.
So Pookie deserved to be slapped.
Oh,
Pookie deserved. Pookie needed help. Pookie needed to be slapped. Yes, Pookie needed to be slapped. Not necessarily Chris Rock. But.
Yeah, I'll say this. I mean, I think that this idea of standing up for your family and your wife, I think that's really important. What I saw was a Black man standing up to protect his wife. That's what I saw. And
in this Hollywood.
Yeah, and I think that we need to see more examples of that. Now, we can debate of how he did it, whether or not it was appropriate, but there are a lot of things in this world that are not appropriate. And if at that moment you saw Jada's face, she didn't feel protected. And there's so many instances where Black women are not protected. We're ignored.
That part.
We're thrown by the wayside, in some cases by the men that we love. So I look, if you're going to be bold and come out there and talk about a man's wife, you have to be responsible for the consequences. And that's that.
Hey,
that's on notice. That's on notice.
Corey, you know all about this, Corey. You man, rest in peace, man, to Charlie Murphy, right?
Charlie.
So what he said on Charlie Murphy. So what he said on Chappelle's show, right? He said something that like reminded me of this when he smacked Rick James. He said Rick James was a habitual line stepper.
He was.
You feel me? He's a habitual line stepper. So it was a process that led up to the smack where I'm smacking. You know what I'm saying? Like he habitually crossed the line, bro. And like that's what happened. My man is a habitual line step.
He is.
Chris
He's
Rock,
always.
But
he
but
just
hold on,
crossed
he's
the
a
line.
but listen, I'm gonna take the other side. He is a comedian though. Like that's what comedians do. They cross lines every single day. Like the whole point is to basically,
The thing is though,
you
is
know,
the
if
people
somebody's
don't
gonna be
always cross
offended.
the line, so you don't
Yeah, but
always feel the repercussions of
no, but one
crossing the
man's joke.
line.
Yeah, one man's joke is
Mm.
another man's offense. Like that's
So
just how it works. You know what
But
I'm
you
saying?
know,
Right, but
just
all
you
right,
don't always. I
one thing
mean,
about
like
comedy,
you
right?
joking
Like
about
this,
people that have like sicknesses and stuff like that, and like somebody's like disease, and the result of their disease, you joking
Right.
on that in a room full of people is an entirely different thing than telling just a regular joke, bro. That was a low
I'm gonna
blow,
disagree.
and it
I'm
was
gonna
in a
disagree with
culture
you, Zach
full of
Zagel.
people.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
But all right, so here's the thing: like when it comes to comedy, there is nothing that you cannot talk about, right? You can talk about anything you want. I think the responsibility part is being skillful enough to craft it into a joke that people will laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what was missing. Chris Rock, he's a very skillful person when it comes to the pen. Not gonna lie, like I admire his writing ability, his team that writes stuff with him. I admire them. When he was on the award show before, and when he talked about Jada Pinkett Smith boycotting the awards, that was a well-crafted joke. It was funny. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was disrespectful because it's not my place to say to carry disrespect, but it was well crafted. When he came out on the stage last night, it seemed like a off the cuff thing that it wasn't a well crafted joke. You know what I'm saying? And that was the difference. You know what I'm saying? If it had been something that's like he took time putting this thing together, talking about a black woman's hair being like it, but it was hella funny, it would have came across kind of different. So there is a
Gotcha.
responsibility when it comes to the craft of comedy too. And he got sloppy last night. He got sloppy last night and got smacked.
Man, Corey,
Yeah, and when
listen,
you
we
get
need that
sloppy, things
respect.
come off personal, right? You
that's
know what
right.
I'm saying? When
That's
you
right.
get sloppy, it comes off more personal because it doesn't
Right.
hit. You know what I'm
And
saying? So
that's
now
why
people
Jimmy.
just looking at
Yep.
what you said as opposed to the joke being funny because it wasn't funny.
Right.
Right.
Because
So
you
now
can say
people
something,
just
you can say something so funny and you laugh. You know what I'm saying? He could joke about me about anything
right,
about sensitive, so funny and well crafted that I laugh and realize that
right.
it was a joke. It was a joke. It was a soft topic. It was a joke. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But
Here's
And
the
it was
thing.
a
If you
bad
Right.
joke.
Because if you think about the reaction, like Denzel pulls him aside, you see Puffy trying to comfort them. You know what I mean? So even the
talk
people in the
about Puff.
room were like on Will's side, if you will.
listen,
So
Miss
Yeah,
Charlene,
thought about-
listen, Miss Charlene, you can't call Diddy Puffy because it's gonna date you. I just want
already
you to
there.
know
It's all
we can
good.
we can tell where people are in the spectrum
It don't
of
even matter.
age based on what they call Sean
Sean.
Diddy Combs.
I'm mad that they
Oh.
let Puffy do that presentation for the Godfather though, of all people.
Man. So listen, okay, hold on. Let's go back to the clubhouse since we got clubhouse now. Ed Willie, I heard you chiming in. What's up, Ed Willie?
Yeah, I'm curious. What would we have thought of this interaction if it had been on the corner instead of on the stage, right? Because it seems like
That's what I said.
Just another day.
Just a G
Just
check.
another day.
Yeah.
No different.
Mhm.
like if somebody had slapped me that way, they would have gotten a free trip to the hospital. Like nobody touches me that way. I don't care what.
Hey, listen, Ed Willie, I didn't know you was. Listen, you are from Michigan though. We got all these gangster Michigan people in here. Like y'all just cold up there. That's why everybody's ready to fight all the time in Michigan. No, but
even
Ed
on the street, you roll different if you know you deserve that smack.
That's
You roll
right.
different
And
if
he
you
did
know
not
you deserve that.
respond.
Exactly.
But here's what I'm saying.
That's why he took it in stride. That's why he took it
That's
in
right.
stride.
Kept it moving.
Ed Willie said, "Hey, you going to hospital? Let's get somebody else." Jalegua, you came up. What's going on, Jalegua? What you think about what's going on?
Y'all got me dying. Y'all got me dying up here. But like, here's the one thing I'll say is that like, look, I think I'm with Granny on this. Like, he could get slapped outside. I just think as black men, I think the violence going on in the world and however he deserved it or not, like they have a platform. They could have, why didn't Will Smith maybe in like a week, maybe sit down and look at him in his eye and tell him how that was wrong. And I think it could have been a little bit, it could have hit the public in a different way because, man, like my grandma lives in New York. She tells me about the violence, about the gang violence, the shooting. People are shooting every day. And we take this into a context. They're they're living in a kind of a world away from our world. It's not reality. But what the reality is we have a lot of young black men that are angry, that don't know how to deal with that anger. And I think that seeing that on the big screen, on the big stage, we're kind of condoning that. You know what I mean? And
Hey, bro, I got a question for you. Hey, hey, bro, I got a question for you. Let me ask him. Hey, bro, you are you married, bro?
No, I'm not married. I'm not married. I have family.
Okay, bro, like, no. I just asked you that one question because, like having to look your wife in the face for a week after something like that, like, bro, like, I mean, you might as well cut yours off. You know what I'm saying, and put them in a jar somewhere. It's like, you know what I'm saying, like,
and told him like did he have to smack him right there?
No, what I'm saying is like waiting a week later to write a report and put a blog out, like, bro. Like, no, bro. Like, you gotta look at your wife in the face. That whole
hold on.
She gonna look at you like you ain't do nothing. Like you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like where's you at when they was clowning me? Where was you at? Like that. She's from Baltimore. You already know it. Like your energy. Like you can't tell her nothing. You can't even tell her to fix you a plate after that. Like, bro, like you're not even gonna be able to look your wife in the face.
Are we saying that black women are expecting black men to respond with them by always saving them with violence?
No, but I'm saying a response had to happen.
We're assuming that our wife is not going to look at us the same way, but they want us to handle it. Whether we handle it with our fist or with an open hand or with our words.
That was a gentlemanly slap, bro.
Bro, that was a gentleman's slap.
Gentleman's slap.
Beat my man.
Hold on. Everybody,
he just checked him.
Hold on, Black Rico. Hold on. Listen. So we gotta slow it down, but I do want
you gotta put them in a jar or something, man. Let somebody do your wife like that and just walk off, and then you gotta look at her in the face. Like, bro, the respect is gone.
Let me tell you something. Like, this is how you know that Black Regal's wife is a sweetheart. Like, real talk. I'm gonna tell you why you know that. Because anybody who got a sweetheart wife, like, they gonna feel that kind of way because they're gonna be like, there's no way you doing my wife like that. But anyway, here's what I'm gonna say real quick. Like, real talk. Here's what I'm gonna say real quick. Bro. Jakumi, say what you said. say what you said about the slap, man.
That was a gentlemanly slap right there. You like when you challenge somebody to a duel, you slap them.
So you go up, you pull the glove off.
I said this when I was like, now they always talking about let's take it back to the old school when we could just, duke it our hands out, no guns, no knives. And to me, it was kind of like that. He just, that's what it was. He could have easily, I don't know, got a security. I'm sure he got security or whatever. But now he was like, I'm going to handle this right here, right now. Yeah.
It wasn't a punch. It was a correction. It was disrespectful and walked away. That's all it was. He wasn't going for a brawl because he would have stayed up there. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't puffed up. He gave him a corrective smack. It was so well done. People thought it was a performance. Chris Rock thought it was a performance. He couldn't believe it.
Man, that's crazy.
The one thing I see on there is nobody looked at the point of, do we know how serious her alopecia was?
That's Jamie. Okay, that's Jamie. Everybody out there, hold on real quick, everybody. For everybody out there, that's Jamie Scott. Go ahead, Jamie.
Nobody really knows how serious her alopecia was and where it hit Will at. Because he could be thinking, yo, this is my wife and I could be losing her. So that puts emotions in there a different way.
No, but that's not true. We do know how serious it was. No, Jada has gone on record multiple times talking about how devastating it was for her to have alopecia. It hurt her confidence. I mean, she's had red table talks on it. This is public knowledge. Right. We all knew. And
even if
she talked about how difficult it was to be a 50-year-old woman and in challenging, she's always been beautiful, right? Can you imagine how devastating that must be to all of a sudden lose her hair in a moment where she's aging? This is huge. This is a self-esteem play. He knew how difficult that was for her. A woman in Hollywood, it's hard to age in Hollywood. It's hard to be a Black woman in Hollywood. It's hard to be a bald, aging Black woman in Hollywood. So she's been very transparent about how difficult the alopecia disorder was. So I just think it was out of line.
Quick question. Can I go back to something Jalekwa said that I wanted to also talk about? That a lot of people, because it was Will Smith, they are taking it to the next level and saying there are a lot of people that are going to see Will Smith do that, and they may mimic his actions. And I just want to enter this in. Like, have we gone too far in allowing these outside? So, like, think about it. Will Smith, as talented as he is, he's just really a person that memorizes and recites lines and is known for doing it. Like, let's be all the way real about it. If this type of thing happened at your local grocery store, two people got in an argument, see a smack, you're not going to look at them and be like, man, you guys just took back black race and you did it in front of my kids. You're going to tell your kids, them dudes are crazy. And keep it moving.
No,
Like, real talk.
I don't know, Lamar. I'll point one thing out to my kids. I be like, you see that form in that smack? He was making corrections. You know what I'm saying?
That was a corrective smack.
It was the form was
but it's still like what I'm saying. Like we don't put
this is a matter of respect, son.
No, but I wouldn't even listen. I wouldn't even say nothing. I'd be like, man, that's their business. That's how I look at it. Like, it's a moment, they had it. Let's keep it. We've seen, listen, in our neighborhood sometimes, in every neighborhood, I ain't gonna say just ours, we've seen crazy stuff go down. Like, come on, man. And it ain't something that we go, oh, it just, why is it black people have to take on, like, somebody who's black can't have a human moment because he has to stand out here for the whole entire race? That's the part that's tripping me out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like just let this
one guy.
That's facts,
let this be a moment. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who wouldn't handle it like that, but he did. And matter of fact, somebody said in his book he talked about he used to walk around punching and slapping people. So it's like maybe this is just who he is. Maybe he's a slapping, punching individual. You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
I think it's a lot, but I think it's fair to allow the humanity and really in all of us, and they're no different. So I think that's a valid point to make. About that humanity, and it is a very human moment, a very natural thing, a way to respond. But I also think even with Chris Rock, when he made the comment, he kind of knew like, oh, I might have went too far, because he was like, wait, what did he say? That wasn't nice. He knew. So I think he thought about it real quick, like, oh, dang, this might have been too much. You know?
Yeah.
When he saw Jada's face.
Right, and that's the other thing.
Hold on real quick. Jalek, go ahead, Jalek. What was you saying?
I'm just going to say, like, is Chris Rock really in a position to respond? He's in an audience full of people. He's in an audience. There's still a script that he's got to go off of. I saw that he had that moment, but can he really actually defend himself? Like, what's he think? Like, he also has to make presence, because if he starts, as someone says, Ed Willie said, I'm going to put him in the hospital, that's going out on a fight that these two black men in front of this world stage.
Jalekwa, I just don't understand this, Jalekwa. Why am I going to, like, in my mind, if somebody walks up to me and starts to fight, why am I in my mind going to process what is this going to do to the black race? How many times are people going to see this? Oh, I'm taking down. Right. I'm not. If somebody's swinging on me,
but he's got to make the decision, though, right? I'm not saying that he's.
Hey, those stereotypes are created from people outside our culture.
It's like,
hold on, Regal. He's talking. He's still talking. Go ahead. Say it again, Jalek.
If I get into this fight, this is not just a fight out on the street. This is like, whoa, this is all the other cameras, all these angles. Like, not that he's thinking. Like, I think that there's a subconscious of like, okay, I'm in. He's still kind of a performer in this thing. Like, that was off script. Now it's like, do I continue with that? I have to make a decision. Am I about to get on a big ass fight here, or like and go one-on-one with Will Smith, or am I going to, or rebuttal or whatever, and then are going with the program of the show? Like, there's just also a context of like, I don't know, like, it's a one-way street, you know what I mean? So I don't think that Chris Rock could have responded in the way that he would have wanted to out on the street. It would have been different. Will Smith put him in a situation. I'll rest my case.
Chris Rock could fight him.
I got a question.
I think a slap turns into a punch, that turns into a knife, that turns into a gun, that turns into drive-bys. Right? It's
a casket.
Escalation.
Yeah, a casket.
I got a quick question. Did he write his own scripts that he write, man? Because I ain't heard nobody even talking about the fact that did Chris Rock write his own damn jokes for that, or did somebody else? Because that's the real shit right there. Is that his idea, or did somebody say this? What you gonna say?
Yeah, listen,
It don't
Drew.
matter.
If
It
it's
don't
his
matter
joke, if
if
it's
he
his
go
joke,
on
if
stage,
it wasn't his
whether or not
joke,
it's
that's
scripted
even
or
worse.
not. It was his decision to say what he said,
Right.
regardless of if
He chose
somebody
to
wrote it
tap
or
dance
if
with
he
that
wrote
joke.
it. He said it out
He
his
chose to
mouth.
tap dance with that. He tap dance with that joke. That's on him.
So listen, Alexander Franklin said in the comments on YouTube, he said probably wasn't even his joke. Heard Kevin Hart turn down the host because he couldn't tell his own jokes. So we just addressed that. I just wanted to make sure that my man Alexander
That's
Franklin
different,
got
man.
that.
That's when it comes to like monologues and certain things. You know what I'm saying? Chris Rock has a certain leeway when he gets on stage. It's Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? It's don't. I mean, I'm just saying the obvious. It's Chris Rock. He's a comedian. He knows how to move in Hollywood. He knows how award shows go. If he goes off script, it's okay because it's Chris Rock. He knows how to move. And whatever decision he make on stage, it's fine. He's not gonna cross the line with the people that give him the paycheck. He knows how to move in Hollywood.
Yeah, somebody said this though, and I think this is a moment for reflection. Said, what did Yoda say? LV999 Slacker said, what did Yoda say? Anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a moment, and I'm not judging nobody on the moment because I mean we've all done things and we've had to apologize for. But this is true, right? Like if we allow anger to get into hate and without us taking care of it, and I think Diddy said in the after party they all got together and everything was cool. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of it, man. We come from the generation where we'll fight our boy and then we'll be hooping with him the next day. Like,
Right.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say,
Like,
man.
it's just what it is. You know
Anger,
what I mean?
anger can be righteous too. Don't get
Yeah,
that
that's
twisted.
true. Yeah, Jesus turned the tables over, didn't he, Regal?
You hear me? Hey, Will Smith just turned his hand over. That's it.
Man, this is a great show. I think somebody else is in the crowd trying to get up. Jamie, if you would, man, I made you a moderator. If you see people down there, bring them up, man. TR McCoy, I'm trying to bring him up on stage. Come on up. Man, this is a really good show. And look, y'all ain't even, here's what my thing is. I didn't even get my pat on the back for getting this sound right finally. Like, ain't nobody even talking about that I got this sound right, man. Gosh, we got Clubhouse piping into
I
the
gave
feed.
you the flowers yesterday, bro. Don't do me like that.
Thank you, Black
How you
Regal. I
want
appreciate
kudos
it,
for doing something you should have done 18 episodes ago?
I had to figure it out, man. See,
Tell
okay,
him, Corey. Tell him.
here's a learning moment. All right, I am learning something new. Y'all didn't even give me the grace to be attempting and trying to learn something new. See, that's what's wrong. When we be trying to learn stuff and people will clown you while you're learning. And then when you finally learn it, they're like, you should have already had it. Even though none of y'all can make it happen. You see what I'm saying? That's what we got to deal with in our community, man. Nah, all right, hold on. We got the Black Beekeeper. What's going on, Sean?
Not much, man. How y'all doing today?
Hey, turn your phone.
Wait.
Oh, bro,
you can't. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't turn it. You must not have your orientation thing.
Orientation, yeah.
Yeah, I just got in here. I have to figure that part out.
Right. But yeah, what's up, man? What you think about the situation? I know you happily married to a beautiful woman. What do you think about the situation? Oh, he left. He basically said he would have been out. It's Corey. Corey said, I just hope someone doesn't say Bitcoin fixes this.
My bad, y'all. I was
you,
over
D.
here
Lewis.
trying to fix the camera situation.
Thank you, D. Lewis. I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying awesome sound. See, that's what I'm saying, man. Gosh, y'all gave me so much flack for this sound. Then when I get it right, nobody say that, man. No, I'm just good though. What's going on, Black Beekeeper? What you think about this, man?
So I feel that I feel like the same sentiments that you were just talking about. Like it happened. It was definitely something that we did not normally. It's not normal for us to see Will react to life like that, you know. So a lot of people are digesting that response to the situation. But the same way Regal was talking, if we sat around and allowed somebody to disrespect our wife like that, or make her feel that uncomfortable, uncomfortable enough for her facial expression to change, yeah, any married man gonna jump up and gonna either have some words, be pushing around, or somebody gonna get their hands laid on them. It's just what I feel a married man would do in reaction to that situation. Not to mention, this ain't the first time that Chris done said something about Jada, so you ain't no telling how he was feeling when he was like, oh, Chris is going to be the one that's going to be speaking on this thing. So I'm already up at arms, to handle it if it gets out of hand. And it did. So
right.
Hey.
Well, hey, listen, we got a bunch of husbands on here today, boy. Like, because that's the reason why for me, like I said, I don't know if in that moment I would have slapped that dude, but I understand because I know the feeling that you feel when that kind of thing happens, man.
You can't say you wouldn't have slapped him though.
Right, Regal, right.
Listen,
you wouldn't have done it.
All I'm saying is that given the circumstances, I don't know, man. Listen, I have been that angry before. I'm not gonna lie to you, and it's a lot of times it is like, and it's just a moment of transparency. A dude jumped in the conversation with my wife, and my wife was upset, kind of made upset, and I walked across the street and picked that dude up and jammed him on his trunk of his car and walked away. So I've done that before in my life. Like, real talk, I'm not proud of it, because matter of fact, I had to go and do the same thing. I went back to him and said, look, man, I'm sorry about that, but sometimes you gotta make sure you stay out of situations. You understand what I'm saying? But it was almost like you said, Corey, it was a corrective jamming. You know what I mean?
But you don't apologize after that.
Facts, bro.
I had to apologize, man, because I was like, I shouldn't have went there. Like, I felt like I shouldn't have went there. I literally, like, it was a big dude. I picked him up and just bowed and left. Like, he was so shocked. He was on the back of the truck, his car, like, and I just walked away with my back turned and everything and went back over and started talking to my wife again. I'd never forget
like
that.
Chris Rock.
No, yeah, I'd never forget it, because I didn't, like, afterward, I felt so, because he really was just making fun of a situation and was upset at my wife, because my wife was already upset. And so him doing that, it was felt disrespectful to me. And I'm talking to I'm on the whole other side of the street. I heard the dude across the street joke, ha ha. I just walked straight to him, and it was just like the Chris Rock. He didn't move or nothing. He's looking like, oh, this big angry dude walking over here. And I just like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Big Mar. He's gonna talk to me about Bitcoin.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What if he had shot you in the face?
But that's what I'm.
You wouldn't be there for your wife,
bruh. This is what I'm saying. But
and the number one
Ed,
job of any husband and father.
It's a cultural thing, friend.
No, but Ed, I get it though. But what I'm saying is that's what I just told you. Like, I'm not saying it was right for me to do it. It's not at all. It was not right at all. And I actually apologized to the dude I did it to. You understand what I'm saying? Like, me and him are still cool to this day. But it was just like, at that moment, again, I know what it's like to have that trigger. And I can empathize with an individual, and not saying that it's right, but I can also understand. Like, if I can understand, that's different. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that you should go and act things in violence, because, like, many people keep saying there are many people who have been in the grave or in the dirt. I mean, in the grave or in jail, just based on the emotional impulse of them doing something. And so, yes,
There's a lot of right people in the graveyard.
Yeah, exactly. You might have been right, but you did, right? So I get that. I get that, Ed Willie. But you literally said you might have to kill a dude. You went all the way to kill Ed Willie when you was on here talking. Like,
if it gets physical, get physical.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you understand too. I just think I get it. Let's see. People are jumping in. Jennifer and Black Beekeeper. Make sure you put your video back on, Black Beekeeper. Let's see who else came up on stage over here. Mr. Tennant, Hugh. What's up, Hugh?
No, I'm good. I was just going to ask him, or ask Ed Willie, what would he do if that had happened to his wife?
He already said it. He said he was. I think he thought retaliation.
I could have gone up and yelled and screamed, and but if you lay hands on someone, that is escalating the situation to physical violence, and physical violence will be had. That's all I'm saying. Like,
but once you walk into somebody's face, you're doing the same thing, bro.
And also,
Yeah.
yo, again, he was aware of all that. Like Will Smith, I'm pretty sure he thought about all that before he went up there. But you are not going to get a slap as beautiful as the one that happened last night on the corner. And I'm not trying to be funny, but
that was a master class, bro.
it
That was a
he
master
he
class slap.
he communicated a message, and he knew that who he was in communication with would understand the transaction. He knew that he would understand
Right.
this, and they was
It was a
communicating in a way
receipt,
that
bro. He
those
gave
two
him a
people could
receipt.
only communicate.
He left her with a receipt, Black
Exactly.
Regal. Y'all crazy.
Exactly.
I
He
have
gave
a
him a
question
receipt.
I
also.
hate that it happened though, but
Right.
This is I ask, why do we try to make entertainers less than human beings? And just because they're entertainer, they don't supposed to do and do certain things.
Right. I'm with you on the Mr. Hugh. It's like humans are humans. We got to stop
Right.
holding them to a certain esteem that is like outside. And to be honest, social media has helped with that a lot, right? It humanizes a lot of these celebrities. I think just being able to see what they do, and Will's definitely somebody who shares his life. Definitely shares his life on a daily basis on the Red Table Talks. So I think it does kind of humanize him a little bit more, and maybe that's why. Like one of the things that I want to address that somebody brought up last night is this question of how much money do you have to have that you're no longer black? Because if that had been a regular dude that walked up on stage and smacked Chris Rock like that, he probably would have been dragged out there in handcuffs. Like I didn't want Will Smith to be, but think about it. Like how much money do you have to not think? This is what I was laughing about earlier. He
Like
walked up on
commit a
stage.
crime on national TV
Yeah,
and then go back to the
walked
seat.
up on stage, gave the dude a gentlemanly slap,
All right.
put the glove back on, sat down, and then proceeded to get a standing ovation. Like
Right.
he got a standing ovation and was allowed to accept the award after smacking the person and then giving a very heartfelt speech that made everybody in the room start tearing up. Like this is the wildest thing ever. If that was a regular black dude, the security guard might have shot him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on, Corey?
It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with Will Smith's track record. You know what I'm saying? All the work that he put in. People know Will Smith. He's not known for, well, he kind of is, but that's why he moved to Bel Air. But I mean, he's not. He doesn't have a track record for being an uncontrollable person. People know this is Will Smith, like Family Man Will Smith. They also know this is Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? Chris Rock specials, bigger and blacker. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never scared. You know what I'm saying? It's Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? It was a merging of two great, powerful worlds, and that's what y'all got. It had nothing to do with money. Will Smith has a track record that people know, and that's why it was acceptable. Like, oh, you had to say something for Will Smith to come up and do that.
Yeah.
I love Corey's take on it because Corey literally is in nightclubs and comedy clubs sometimes. That's probably all kinds of people that want to do something to him.
But that's
So,
not. But and to be honest, man, that's why I stopped talking about people. Well, not because it's smack, but because I just kind of figured it's not worth it. Like it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? So I got other material that I'll talk about. I don't have to pick on somebody in the crowd. Like that's not my comedy style. I used to do it, but that's not my comedy style. I got stuff I want to say on stage. I say it on stage. I can deal with a heckler. If somebody starts heckling me, then I'll get into you. But I'm not gonna pick on somebody just because.
right. Yeah, man, that's a great perspective. Is anybody else out there in Facebook, in Clubhouse that wants to
I
hop
hope
on
not.
stage? Since
I'm
now
on
we
my
can add
stage.
y'all since we now can add you to the feed, given the fact that it took me all of these weeks to figure this out, and I finally did it. Thank the Lord. If anybody want to jump in, because I truthfully think I love the fact that Genesis Block doesn't always have to stay completely on Bitcoin, and the reason why is because like this is about the culture. Like Bitcoin is a tool that allows us to connect to one another and allows us to save our our actual earnings and our time into something, into an asset that will appreciate over time, we believe, right? But there's more to life than just thinking about where we saving money, right? There's a whole lot of this stuff that we can talk through. We have an amazing group of individuals from all over the planet. So why not talk this stuff through and have these kind of conversations? Matter of fact, I got a call from Ryan Coogler, and he said, I better keep my name out of his mouth. That's what he told me. He told me that. So I'm sure if I see Ryan Coogler, I might get smacked. No, I'm just kidding, Ryan, man.
Hey, Lamar.
I'm just
Lamar,
kidding.
did we
Man.
talk about Denzel already, though?
No, okay. So the Denzel Sam L.
Was...
Yeah. See, Charlene, listen, we gonna say it's a Charlene with the T, Federico. So Charlene, what's the T on Denzel?
So this was like a black man ancestor moment, right? So after Will Smith finished the slap, he came back to his seat, and Denzel took him under his arm and walked him out of the venue. And then when Will Smith did his acceptance speech for the Oscar, he actually said what Denzel said to him. And Denzel said, "Hey, man, you know what? Like when you reach your highest point, be careful, because that's when the devil comes for you." So Denzel was just saying, listen, you're at the peak of your career. You need to be careful. You might have all these feelings, and people will start to talk about you, but you got to be better than that. I just felt like that was like an elder speaking to a young blood that's on the come up. That we need those examples in our community. So that he could, in that moment, Denzel could have turned his back on Will, but he didn't. He publicly took him aside and said, "Look, bruh, I understand." He didn't even say he was wrong. He just said, you need to recognize that they're going to keep coming for you. So you need to learn how to manage this anger and manage your reactions. I thought that was powerful.
I think, though, Will Smith is 53 years old, so he don't really need another old man to tell him, like, Will Smith. And to think that Will Smith is on the come up is weird, too. Like, Will Smith, he's up. Like, Will Smith
but
this
is his first Oscar. He's never had an Oscar.
But that's what I'm saying. That's like...
It matters.
That's like validation. This is what I don't never understand. Why do we put so much validation in of about 20 different writers across the globe? Like, this is the kind of stuff that bothers me. That's why I love Ocho Cinco. Ocho Cinco always talks about the Hall of Fame. He's like, I know I was cold-blooded. My peers tell me I was one of the coldest receivers. I don't need a bunch of writers who didn't like me to validate my existence and my ability to be great. And that's what I'm saying. Like, these award shows have gotten us into a mentality that if we don't get these awards, think about it. Jay-Z was hardly ever getting a Grammy. Does that make Jay-Z awful? It's like these award shows are like a way for them to separate and say, "Oh, you're not good enough in validation." Like, I don't give a crap about them. It's not the highest to me. It's not the highest of his career because he's Will freaking Smith. Like, he was Will Smith before he walked in the building that day. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? It doesn't matter what we think, Lamar. It matters what Will thinks. And that's why he was crying on that stage. And that's why he was pretty much sharing that he had reached another echelon of his career. His call, he's talking about the call. God has called him to protect people and to protect women. Like, I mean, I felt like he's acknowledged that he's at the very top of his career. He hasn't gotten an Oscar yet. And
but no, but it's an Oscar.
I'm not an actress. They value these trinkets.
Listen, I have a picture with an Oscar. I literally have a picture with an Oscar because the dude be carrying his Oscar around in his backpack like it's his laptop. He like, "Hey, bro, you want the Oscar?" I got a picture with the freaking Oscar from Avatar. I got the Titanic. It's Titanic Oscar. I'm like this.
You are two artists in Hollywood. You want to be recognized by your peers of creatives. You know what? Whether that's right or not.
Listen, Don Cheadle, he don't need an Oscar for anybody to say he's great. Matter of fact, Don Cheadle will work for a sandwich and a Capri Sun, dog. Like, he just enjoys acting. You feel me? So it's like I don't think a lot of these guys and people need. Matter of fact, they boycotted the Oscars They don't think they really cared about it like that. I think, okay, it's something he checked off his list. He probably took that Oscar and threw it in the corner, and he probably kept watching the replay of him smacking that dude. Right?
Listen, he was, no. He was dancing at that Vanity Fair party like nobody's business. He celebrated that Oscar.
He celebrated the gentleman's smack. Listen, let's see who's back over here. Dr. Shaler. What's going on, Dr. Shaler? You came up on stage. What do you think about this?
Oh, we had this whole discussion this morning. I was saying to myself, so now what we need to do, we need to interview people and ask them, if somebody called me or whatever, are you going to say something or not? Are you going to stand there or not? Especially after you already told them to keep my name out of their mouth. Like he's already had the warning. We already did this in the back corner and everything before. So now you're doing it again. So what you want Will to do? Like, what's the answer in front of the white people? Because I feel like a lot of the people that are concerned about what's going on, y'all are so concerned about what other people think. So I don't like it.
I get you. Listen, but Miss Dr. Shaler, this whole entire panel we got up here is pro smack. Like every single one of them is like except for Corey. Corey's not pro smack. I'm sorry. But the rest of us up here, like not even me, I'm not even really pro smack. I'm pro doing something. I'm pro retaliation.
Pro response.
Because I'm like, but it probably would have been a smack. Like my wife said, she probably would have grabbed me. In the moment, she probably would have grabbed me. Like I might have got that angry. I'm just like, it's too many layers to unfold.
But that's the whole point, though, Lamar. You in denial, bro. Like she grabbed you. You just said your wife had to grab you. Like Jada was grabbing, dog. So if your wife's not grabbing you, you smacking him, dog, or doing something. Like that's just what's gonna happen. And you already
also
know that, man.
There are not too many.
I know you want to play neutral, man, but like, come on, bro.
There are not too many people that are able to deliver the way that situation went down. Like that was two professionals, you know what I'm saying, in every part of the way. You know what I'm saying? It was two professionals doing anything. You're not gonna be able to do it on the street. You're not gonna be able to keep your composure in certain situations. So I mean, that was totally
a professional
different.
slap.
Those were professional.
Hey, dangerous. It was a workplace slap. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what happened.
Hey, thank you, Jackson. Jackson said this is a really good show, man. Like, listen, I think we've been in a stride. I just gotta say, shout out to these Black Bitcoin billionaire mods, man. This is a really good show. We're gonna mess around and sell this show to Netflix, man. Everybody,
look, and you didn't even want to talk about it, Lamar.
No, I didn't, because I'm like, maybe we do that on another show.
There.
Right.
You can't avoid it, though. I tried to not talk about it this morning.
Yeah, we can.
Back channel.
It's the culture.
You can't avoid it.
Yeah, you can't avoid it. It's just the biggest news story. It really is. I think and for us, we really have a lot of joking about it. I think my favorite thing is how Corey and Jakumi came together, that this was like a gentleman's slap. I just keep seeing him doing this, pulling that white glove off. I keep seeing him pull the white glove off and then putting it back on, right? And sitting back down. Because it was too calm. It says, look, let's see, somebody said in the thing, said that reaction from Will is a couple rungs below seeing Mr. Rogers getting up and slapping someone. Okay, I got to say it right because nobody else heard it. That reaction from Will is a couple of rungs below seeing Mr. Rogers getting up and slapping someone. That's how gentlemanly it was. Right. It's like Mr. Rogers says, it's a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Rogers slap you, you know you deserved it. Like anybody else.
Hey, that's what Corey said.
That's just gonna be like, hey, it is what it is.
If Mr. Rogers walk over and slap you, yeah, it's trouble. Let's see.
Timothy, I see you get slapped by Mr. Rogers, bro. Like that's what people gonna ask you. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna want to hear what you did and what you did. They're gonna be like, bro, what you do to get Mr. Rogers to slap you, bro?
That was completely real though. Because you know what? Nobody comforted. Think about it. People pulled Will Smith off to the side. Tyler Perry, they had a whole thing around him. Chris Rock was in the back sitting by himself. Yeah, Chris Rock was back up like this. Like, I just got slapped and nobody's coming to hug me or nothing. Like, nobody comforted Chris Rock.
Like he violated. It was some people, but I ain't even gonna go into
Yeah,
that.
hold on. Who's that? Yeah, who's that? Who's that?
It's
Jalego.
Jalego. I just want to add one of like, what if someone came in and only saw the tail end? Kind of, you're playing basketball. You only see the other person's reaction. Like we're in the real world, grocery store. If someone walks in on that, you only see that person smack him. Then then it's two different stories. You know what I mean?
Right.
I guess that's in the context, and I'm happy that it happened because
Right.
obviously black men should protect black women. But sometimes it's like you come in on that later, and you don't have that context. This is Will Smith. These are just two people, two human beings. Like this, then that's straight violence, and like it's got to be split up. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that.
I'm disagreeing with that because again, if you see somebody get slapped and you don't know the full story, you look at what you're seeing. You see how was this person reacting to getting slapped? He didn't do anything. Oh, he probably deserved it.
So here's the other part. So Sam K said, I prefer comedians get a corrective slap than counsel and never learn.
Yeah.
Oh, I think people know to leave Jada out of material now.
Right.
No, I think Jada is going to be in far more material. Like, listen, Will Smith is a legend and he has a lot of money, but he can't be everywhere. This is going to be in every comedy club across the world. They're gonna be in Korean. They're gonna be talking about this slap. Like some dude in Lagos, Nigeria, is going to be doing stand-up comedy and talk about this smack. I'm telling you right now, it's
Lamar. You're not talking about Will Smith. You're talking about Ali. You're talking about the genie. You know what I'm saying? Will Smith.
Right.
That part.
Hancock. Right. That's a good point.
Hancock.
10 times. Hancock.
He already had a million jokes. So somebody's just gonna go down there Will Smith line and it's gonna end with this thing. You right, Corey. People already got material for years on Will Smith.
Yeah.
And
I wonder what Dave Chappelle gonna say. You know, he might have something.
No, Dave, listen, I to be honest, that's the one person I don't think is gonna say nothing.
I hope we'll see.
No, I think that's the one dude.
Stay out of it.
Yeah, I think he gonna leave it alone. I think he gonna leave it. I truthfully believe he gonna leave this one alone. This is one of them ones like it ain't even worth it. Listen right now. I'm going at other communities. I'm not trying to fool around.
He got his own stuff,
Yeah, like I think he's not even. Yeah, let's see. Hold on. Let's see. By the Hood said, shout out to By the Hood. It says both brothers made a decision and both have to deal with the consequences of the decision. What bothers me is folks still worrying about what they think about it. Right. Yeah, that's what I was. That's what we've been talking about. That. Yeah, that's not.
That situation is definitely over. Will Smith handled it, and Chris Rock said, "You right, boss," and that was it.
Look,
exactly. It's a cultural thing. People don't understand that.
A
pioneer, corrective
Jackson
slapping.
said, my dad is a pioneer in collective slapping. That's funny.
Corrective.
I'm sorry. Corrective, not collective.
My daddy is too.
All right, let's see. Okay, By the Hood. By the Hood's out here doing some writing. Like, this is his second novel. Over and over in his book, he kept coming back to how not being able to protect his mother from abuse has haunted him his whole life and shaped who he is. This isn't the first time Chris Rock joked about Jada.
But it's damn sure his last.
I know, Corey, I truthfully don't believe that. Chris Rock's going to do it on tour. Wait. Kev, you're going to see Kevin Hart, Chris Rock. He's going to make another joke, man.
I don't think so.
He's not.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
Chris Rock is not going to do that.
I mean,
I think his wife gonna tell him not to. I think Chris Rock's wife gonna say, "Listen, that's enough. Find some more
Chris
material."
Rock ain't got no wife.
Remember,
Chris Rock ain't married no more.
Dog divorce.
Maybe that's why he divorced.
That's right. He doesn't know how to close his mouth. But here's the thing.
Yeah,
like, By the Hood made a good point. Like, Will Smith grew up watching his mom get beat up over and over again, not be protected. And he couldn't do a daggone thing about it. Because he was a kid. So this is more than just a slap. This is more than just disrespecting my woman or my family. This meant a lot to him. So he had to stand his ground. And, and that was important.
Listen, we'll never know. Because Chris, they probably not gonna. I'm not even gonna say that. They will definitely talk about this on the Red Table Talk on Facebook. I'm telling you, like, this is gonna be a Red Table Talk conversation. They're gonna bring Chris Rock and say this is how we handle things. and then Grammy's gonna come out from the back, and Diamond Dollar Page, Chris Grammy gonna come out, yeah.
I'm telling you, it was a cultural understanding that went with that slap, man, and the conversation that went on after that. Like, bro, you know what time it was. Like, come on. Like, you did a documentary called Good Hair, bro. Like, for your daughters and all that. Like Chris Rock, you did that. And then to do that to another black woman in an audience full of people, and it's something that she can't do anything about, it's like, come on, bro. Like, it was a cultural understanding. He slapped him down to earth, and then they had a conversation about it.
Slapped him down to earth. Listen, y'all,
I felt bad about that because I thought that Chris Rock was a champion for our crowning glory. I really thought that he was on our side with that. So
That's
for
what
him
I'm
to say something
saying.
like that, it was personally like, wow, Chris, you too?
He was in the moment.
It made him look like a hypocrite. It made him look like a real deal hypocrite.
That's
right. Like it did.
Well, listen,
I think
everybody.
goodwill is important.
Listen, everybody. We are running up on an hour and 10 minutes. This has been a crazy show. I didn't realize it was that far along. It says Gary Stewart says he's absolutely going to joke around it, talking about Chris Rock. Maybe tease Will on other subjects, but come for Jada again? Nope, it's not happening.
He ain't coming for Jada. He gonna talk about that slap.
He probably joke about getting slapped. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. But I think y'all, this has been a really good show, and I truthfully think like the Genesis Block will still keep talking about Bitcoin stuff, but I think from time to time we'll just let Miss Charlene come with the tea, and then we'll talk about what she talks about with her girlfriends. Because Miss Charlene come with the tea like your granny used to, where she be like, "Child, did you see?" That's Miss Charlene. Miss Charlene's already turning into our granny. Maybe that grannies were already like that. We didn't know when we was little. You know what I'm saying?
They are.
So one thing about it, right? We can actually tie everything that happened last night into Bitcoin. One thing we do know that Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer thing, right? That slap was definitely peer-to-peer. There was no middleman involved. He didn't wait for anybody's. You mind if I slap this? You mind if I slap? And it was over, and it was done. He couldn't take it back. It was immutable.
It was
immutable. It was censorship resistant.
And now, thanks to the beauty of social media, it's pretty much decentralized because everybody got it on their phone.
And with that said, listen, everybody out there in good old YouTube land, we are going to end it just like
that. Was a layer 2 slap. That slap came off lightning.
A layer 2
you know
slap.
What I'm saying?
This is the Genesis Block.
A lightning slap.
This Monday, March the 28th. Listen, man, I've had a good time today. And like we always say out there, live love, love life. If you live love, you'll love your life. We will see y'all in the hallway. If y'all want to continue this conversation, come over to the Black Bitcoin Billionaire room, and we are going to be on stage still continuing this. And see y'all later, man.